What's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller, and welcome everyone to Impact Wrestling Review, the show from July 21st, excuse me. I was going to say 27th. No, July 21st, 2020. This is the fallout of Slammiversary 2020 for this edition of Impact Wrestling. What happened on the show after the crazy eventful where you never know who's going to show up to Slammiversary? You know, it tends to debuts, returns, and, making an impact. Shocking impact, that in a way. So let's get right to it. The commentators were Josh Matthews and Madison Rain. So you had Madison Rain back on commentary after her loss from Slammiversary of that gauntlet match. Now, I don't remember if EC3 opened up the show, but basically pertains to his promo that I thought he cut a very good promo. Pertains to control, basically to control your narrative. So the whole thing is about hashtag control your narrative. And again, with EC3, he's got a new look, grew the goatee, got a haircut. It's a new addition, a new reviving of EC3. So, yeah, I thought it was a good promo from EC3. Just want to bring that up in case if I don't mention it. Again, don't remember if this was the opening one. As a matter of fact, it is. EC3, with a powerful message pertains to of his night returning to Impact Wrestling. And there you go. Now, there's the fact that he's not in Impact Wrestling, which is good that they're doing that. Basically, he's an outsider. So I love that that's scope his new role in professional wrestling at life after the WWE. We get Chris Bay defend his Impact X Division champion, who is the Finesse Division champion in a way, for the Finesse Division, versus Willie Mack, rematch from Slammiversary. And I gotta say, this match was to me was better than the match from Slammiversary. Not saying it was a great match, but still good and better than the match from Slammiversary. In the end, it was Chris Bay winning the match at the end of the day. So, and he won the same move. Bounced off the second rope into the cutter. Don't remember what the move was again, and it was mentioned on Slammiversary. I just don't remember the move, and it wasn't even mentioned on this show. Whatever, but cool move though. So Chris Bay wins. We get the Good Brothers coming out. And let's see. Carl Anderson says for months the wrestling community wanted to know where are the Good Brothers going to go. And Carl Anderson says by Machine Gun Carl Anderson. But they knew they wanted to go, and that was to Impact. He also says that he believes they were a part of Slammiversary for a reason, and which is why Slammiversary was trending on the weekend. Which, by the way, Slammiversary of what I remember, they were trending all over social media on Twitter. #1 trend. That's unheard of, especially for Impact Wrestling. A good accomplishment. But at the end of the day, what does it mean? What tends to move forward for Impact Wrestling? Well, hopefully they'll keep the momentum going, and there's more people coming to Impact Wrestling. So, so we get Doc Gallows can't remember what was the name they gave him. I'm assuming it was the other episode of Impact Wrestling, which I will get to. I got a lot catching up to do. But anyways, Gallows says he basically agrees with his statement. Says that they're there to create a receipt of what makes a great tag team, and they don't need a too sweet, to prove it. Basically the too sweet gesture. After all that, Ace Austin comes out. With Matt Fulton, and basically they introduce themselves to them, and basically Ace Austin wants an apology for for what happened after the match when Ace Austin loses to Eddie Edwards. Basically what tends to sicken their nose in their business. So instead, we get a brawl, and the Good Brothers won the brawl, and we basically hear Doc Gallows saying sorry, sorry, basically being a wise ass, and that was it. So that's gonna be the program, and nothing to it is. What's weird about this whole thing is that here you have, well, I'll get to more. I want to get to Eddie Edwards, but we get Heath, who's trying to get into the building, but he couldn't get into the building. Security not letting him go, get to the building, and he's trying to give Rhino a call. Heath Miller, but they just call him by Heath. So that's why I'm saying on his first name. So he's calling Rhino, and Rhino's too busy to answer the call because all of a sudden he bumps into Hernandez. I guess there's some unfinished business between the two, but pertains to the money. And I thought they resolved that. So they wanted to do it in the ring, and they're going to do it in the ring. And basically Heath was left out, because he can't get in the building without Rhino being there. So Chris Bay's hanging out of his private room. He's pouring out champagne. Well, the two ladies were pouring out champagnes. Meanwhile, Raul goes in, and then Chris Bay's like, he's losing his mind. Like, what are you doing here? How you getting here? Raul tells him, if he ever needs help, he's got his back. And that was basically it for that. Not much to say about that. So we get Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz versus Havoc and Nevaeh. I meant to say. I was gonna say Nevaeh. Match itself, it was decent, but it ended by disqualification. I was into the match, but then it ended by disqualification. Like, really? Because Jessica Harris get ready to get rid of Tombstone Power Drive Kiera Hogan. Tasha Steelz gets in there with a steel chair and whacks Havoc. Nevaeh takes out Tasha Steelz. Meanwhile, Kiera Hogan was still being held by by Havoc, despite the steel chair hit that she got hit from the back, and she still hits the Tombstone, and that was it. That was the end of that segment. Nothing else to say about it. Sami Callihan's looking for Ken Shamrock. He blames him for the loss against the North from Slammiversary. He says, so basically Callihan did find Ken Shamrock and says, Ken Shamrock said to him, if Callihan has a problem with him, he'll see him next week and everything, just to resolve this. Well, this whole thing, whatever. So also we see RVD, Rob Van Dam and his girlfriend, Katie Forbes, which by Katie Forbes looks very, very good right now. I mean, she already look good, but she's got abs now. She's really hitting the gym, to work on those abs. I guess those, the whole pandemic, staying quarantine, really did the job, So, but anyways, but they're happy for themselves now. Now that there's no more of the cancel culture thing, thank God. I don't know why they were even part of that in the first place, So they're done with that whole thing now, where Katie Forbes is done with, all the fans crapping on her on the internet, of everything she's doing. And yeah, I like, thank God. Now all we need now is for Jay Chris to do something now. What's he gonna do? Impact Wrestling? Hopefully you can figure that out. Alright, so we get to this match between Hernandez versus Rhino. Winner take all. Versus the money. Bell rings. Gore. 1, 2, 3. And nothing to say about that, folks. It was just a quick match. If you blinked, you missed it. The North, they're backstage and they go on off. They list off of the tag teams they had beaten, and all of a sudden, works against the Motor Machine Guns, which is gonna be the main event, which we'll get to. Ethan Page says that if they're so good, then they should try to win the belts off of them tonight, and we'll get to that. We get Brian Myers, a video vignette of Brian Myers, formerly known as Kurt Hawkins, and he's coming. What's he gonna bring to the table? Well, he's gonna bring some quality wrestling, but is he gonna do anything for Impact Wrestling? I highly doubt that. But nonetheless, he's gonna be a good character on the show, so that's a positive. All right, so here we go. Okay, sorry, I thought this was the one. Never mind. Okay, so we get GM Miller gets a quick word from the new Knockouts champion, Deonna Purrazzo, the Virtuosa. Says that she heard that Jordan Grace was now injured during the match. Therefore, she doesn't have anyone to put the title on the line against. And then Kylie Ray shows up, because remember, Kylie Ray won the Battle Royal, well, the Gauntlet match, to earn the right to be a number contender. So Kylie Ray basically, interrupts the interview. They both start taking shots at each other. Yeah, Kimberly holding back Deonna Purrazzo. Yeah, Susie holding back Kylie Ray. I thought it was gonna set up a tag match from the next Impact Wrestling show, but it ends up not being, because Deonna Purrazzo, for a reason, when Kimberly tried hold Deonna Purrazzo back, to calm things down, Deonna Purrazzo attacks Kimberly like, huh? And I guess that's gonna be a match now, and which ends up being the next match. I mean, that ends up being the match for the next Impact Wrestling show, which I'll get to when I get a chance to catch up. But there you go. And then we get to a video package of Eddie Edwards after winning the title, which I was against of, and he's being congratulated by everyone behind the scenes. Everyone is congratulating Eddie Edwards of winning the world title. And here's the thing: I don't mind him being world champion. But my issue of him being world champion in the first place is because the way he looks, the way he's carrying himself, his gimmick. I can't get into that anymore. I can't take that seriously anymore. I am done with that gimmick. It's service of is time already. It's long overdue. I mean, basically it overstayed its welcome. I'm done with that character. It doesn't interest me anymore. It's boring me to death now. So he gets to get in the ring and talks about being the new champion, because at this point he got in the ring and start saying that he's the new champion. He is ready for a new journey, and he's going to basically to put the title on the line every Tuesday nights on Impact Wrestling, which is I don't mind that, but at the same time, it's the 8 hours persona of him being crazy. Looking like a like he's like a knockoff of, I don't know, a Dean Ambrose from WWE. And no, I'm not gonna compare him to AEW Jon Moxley. And on top of this too, what was the fucking point of having Gallows and Anderson out there at Slammiversary to help out Eddie Edwards after his match. Because the whole point of Eddie Edwards, after he won the title and he got attacked by Ace Austin and Matt Fulton, and then the Good Brothers came out and helped out Eddie Edwards, maybe there were going to be a faction, maybe there could be a team, whatever. No, they decided to scrap that. Now Anderson and Gallows are dealing with Ace and Madman, and Eddie Edwards is back on doing his own thing. What was the fucking point of that segment? You couldn't just have Eddie Edwards just have his moment instead of doing what they did at Slammiversary, and then after that there was no follow up. There was not even a follow up from the next episode of Impact Wrestling either. I don't know. I don't understand. I never got the appeal of why they're all of a sudden they're friends. Like, that came out of freaking nowhere. I just don't get it. So Eric Young comes out, the world class maniac. And by the way, he does the crazy persona way better than Eddie Edwards right now, and he got to a T. He got it locked down to a T. Eric Young, because he is that damn good. I'm not saying Eddie Edwards is not damn good either. Again, it's run its course with Eddie Edwards. I'm done with that Eddie Edwards. I want the old Eddie Edwards back. The wrestler, the Wolves, Eddie Edwards. Can we get that Eddie Edwards back? Maybe if we bring back Eddie Edwards back, I'll get back on that bandwagon of Eddie Edwards. But with this Eddie Edwards right now, I can't get into that. So I'm off of that bandwagon. But Eric Young, basically Eddie Edwards calls off EY by saying he does not deserve a title match because wait, I'm sorry. I think I read it wrong. Now I don't remember if AO may have cut off a EUI when he's getting the talk wherever. But basically, but AO was was letting him know that he doesn't deserve after what he did to Rich Swann. So then EY said that impact. That impact belongs to Eric Young, and Eddie Edwards should thank him. EY says the reason they're both standing there right now is because EY made it so, and then saying that Eddie Edwards has heard enough. I'm sorry. Eddie Edwards said he's heard enough, and he decided to go after EY. Also, we get referees coming out to break it up, and that was it. So yeah, that's gonna be the next program. Is EY gonna win? I hope so, but then again, I don't think he is. I think that's gonna be one of Eddie Edwards' victims that Impact Wrestling is gonna feed Eddie Edwards to. Gia Miller, she is standing by with the TNA World Champion, to say Moose, and basically what pertains to Eddie Edwards' announcement of doing the weekly defense of the title, and then asked if he's gonna do the same like Eddie Edwards, what pertains to him being a TNA World Champion, and he says he'll decide when to hand out the invitations, but for now he has a match against Falaba, and we'll get to that. We get Gina Miller who follows up with Eddie Edwards backstage. We're saying he's going to be a fighting champion, and then Trey walks in and says he overheard and all that, eavesdropping whatever, and says he wants a shot, and we're going to get it. And we'll talk about that when we get to the next review of it for Impact Wrestling. Moose versus Falaba. Falaba being accompanied by TJP for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, and Moose basically took care of Falaba. Fireball had some offense, but at the end of the day, Moose basically dominated the match. In the end, Moose hit the lights out spear and got the win. After the match, we get the outsider, EC3 attacking Moose. And basically, the move he's calling it the ECD. Basically, it was like a reverse DT thing that he did, but he calls it the ECD. So there you go. And that's gonna be the next program, EC3 versus Moose, which we could have to ask Slammiversary, but they decided to have a better idea, and that better idea was Tommy Dreamer versus Moose, which was fine. The match was fine, in what pertains to old school rules match. But anyways, I digress. And EC3 making his debut, or should I say his return, or pertains to his new persona. But anyways, we see Ace Austin and Madman Fulton pulled up on the Good Brothers, because the Good Brothers walking, I guess to the cars too, or I'm assuming. All of a sudden, Ace Austin's taunting, the Good Brothers. Also, Reno Scum shows up and attacks them from behind. But then they got their ass kicked afterwards, and then all of a sudden Ace Austin and Madman Fulton drew away, and that was it. So there you go. Rosemary, John E. Bravo. They were at a house which is undisclosed, and then Ty Broccoli showed up. But wait, there's more. Also, you have Susie, Kylie Ray, the Deaners, Cody and Jake, Triple XL, Larry D and Ace Romero, Johnny Swinger. It gets better. Crazy Steve. Who else was there? Oh yeah, Alicia Edwards. And yeah, that's it. And someone else will end up being it too, but we'll get to that when we get to the next Impact Wrestling review. And what's this all about? Well, they all come together because, for a reason, they all teleported into this disclosed house, and it's going to be called Wrestle House. And you're wondering, what's Wrestle House? You'll find out when I get to the next review of Impact Wrestling, and I'll let you know how I feel about it too. And if you're watching this and you're already seeing what Wrestle House is already, but for those who are watching this and you still don't know what Wrestle House is because you haven't been watching Impact Wrestling, you'll find out soon enough. But for those who do know what Wrestle House is, you know what this is about. You already know what it's all about. So, and finally, the main event, the North defends their Impact World Tag Team Championship against Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin, the Motor City Machine Guns, in a good tag team match for the championships. And surprisingly, Motor City Machine Guns won. They won. They upset the tag team champions, and I can't believe it. I'm not angry. I'm actually happy. So yeah, Motor City Machine Guns, they proved that they are the best tag teams against the North, and that's something. That is something. So congratulations to Motor City Machine Guns, not only for returning to Impact Wrestling, but also becoming the new Impact World Tag Team Champions. So yeah, that was basically it, folks, for Impact Wrestling. Talking about wrestling for Impact Wrestling, the show from July 21st, 2020. 5 matches, and my overall rating for the show, I'm gonna go with 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for the show. Yeah, 7 out of 10. And with that being said, thank you all for watching for It's Natural Born Thriller, saying peace on the streets. Until next time for this Impact Wrestling review, which I will do a review of it later on during the week. You all stay well, stay safe, take care of yourself for everything that's going on in the world. Wear your mask. I am out. Ta-ta for now. And for this was your Impact Wrestling review from July 21st, 2020. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, Heath Slater showed up after the show was over. You know, after most of the Machine Guns won the titles. Basically, he showed up, you know, right when the show ended. It happened where Jimmy Jacobs left the building, and all of a sudden Heath Slater got into the building, or Heath. You know, he's called Heath now. So I just want to mention that before I go. So there you go. Take care.